Hello, fellow horn and brass players. I'm Michael Manley, and today I'm going to share 3 secrets to a better and faster warm up. Now, I have not touched my horn today, so this is the first 6 to 7 minutes of what I do every day and why I do it this way. Now, first, I'm going to start with some breath work, and I'm going to use 2 little tools that I have. One is a breather, which adds resistance to my inhale and my exhale. And the second is my trusty breathing bag. And the breathing bag actually gives us a picture of what's happening with our air. And this adds resistance, as I said, making the breath a little more challenging. So this just gets my air moving, gets me sitting up properly and aware of my body alignment and balance. So first, I'm going to start with my breather. I'm going to do, let's say, 3 or 4 of these in a row. And I've got mine set to 1 on the inhale and 2 on the exhale. Now, when we're breathing as brass players, when we're playing, it's going to be different from how we breathe in everyday life. And you'll notice I did not hold the air in. There's a lot of breath work where, such as yoga techniques, where people do hold the air in. We do not want to hold the air, and we want to get used to having that turnaround be instant from the inhale to the exhale. Now I'm going to do a few breaths on my breathing bag, and I'm going to start with some slow 4-beat in, 4-beat out. I'm gradually going to decrease that to 1 beat in and 1 beat out. So, the breathing bag lets us rebreathe the air that we exhale, meaning that we don't take in more oxygen and get hyperventilated when we are taking several deep breaths in a row. If you don't have either of these tools, you can do my favorite little technique, which is called a finger breath, where we just put our fingers against our open mouth slightly. We want to just drop that jaw. Excuse me. And we want to aim for that whooshing sound that you heard. If we're hearing a whistling sound, it means we're tightening somewhere here. Maybe the tongue is too high as we are breathing. So now I've done about 2 minutes of breath work. I'm going to move on to my horn. I don't buzz right away. I actually go right to the horn, and I start with some very slow harmonic slurs starting in the basement for me. I do like to start down there. You can always start a little bit higher and go down, and I will show you what that looks like. So I'm going to do an octave and a half on the harmonics, and I'm going to go up chromatically. So this is way 1. If the low notes are not comfortable for you to slur from, you can always start on the upper B flat and go down to the F and back. Now from here, I'm just going to go chromatically up, and this time I'm going to add a bend on the top note. And the reason I'm doing this this way is that the purpose of these slurs for me is to get my lips and my air working together and producing that sound and finding the center of my tone. That's the purpose of these first minutes of my warm-up. So now we're a half step higher on our written B. Now I'm going to go up to C, so everything open. And now I'm going to continue on with the B flat fingering, so thumb 2 and 3 chromatically up all the way to thumb open. And that will land me on a C. So you can see in just these first couple minutes, I'm already over 2 octaves in my range, and I'm going to keep going up. I'm going to switch the harmonic pattern now. You can do these with any other type of slurred exercise. There's some Arnold Jacob, beautiful sounds, other things. I like to use the harmonics because I'm not changing my fingers. I'm not thinking about anything except the air, being aware of my body, how balanced I am, and how relaxed my sound is. So now I'm going to continue by going from a G down to C, up to C, and down to pedal C. So you can see that is our second cycle. I don't do bends much above third space C in the staff because they are a little more difficult, but I am still focused on that relaxed, full, big sound, starting every cycle with an air attack, and just again concentrating on that steady air, getting all over the range with ease and balance. So now I'm going to switch my pattern and I'm going to go back to my G, and I'm going to go all the way up to, actually I'll start on first valve, so I'll start on the F. I'll go all the way up to the F, the octave above, and down to the B flat. So in all of these, I'm gradually going up chromatically on every note I land on. So now we've gone from an F in the staff to an F on the top of the staff, and we're going to keep going up using, again, these harmonics. This pattern will take us all the way up to the fifth. We just went up to the tonic before, and it's going to look like this. notice a couple things. One is, again, I'm starting with the air on every note. I'm also playing very much in rhythm. I don't have a metronome on, but I do have one going in my head. And I'm not that focused on intonation with these harmonics because some of them are out of tune, but I am focused on relaxation and feeling comfortable in all of these registers. I don't want to push myself to where I'm forcing the sound or if there's any effort or tension. Now, the other thing that I love about harmonics, which maybe you don't get from doing more other exercises that are fingered notes, is that when we hear ourselves skipping or overshooting, going to the next harmonic, it's a good x-ray for us of what we're doing with our lips and our air. And if we are overshooting, if you're hearing something like this, that means that we're using too much tension here, trying to find the note with the lips and not letting the air do all the work. Now, I've gone to a high C, now that's 3 octaves plus 1 note before where I started on a low B flat. And today I'm going to continue on and do the next cycle, which is the full harmonic series, starting again on the 5th. And this time I'm going to go all the way up to the tonic. And I'm going to start on a G and see if I can get any notes out above high C in this first 5 minutes of my warm-up today. So I got up to an E today. The F was not quite there, but I'm going to stop because I don't want to force. I want this to be completely relaxed. I'm very aware of if I'm adding pressure, especially to get into the upper notes, and I don't want to do that. I want everything to feel like whistling and easy. So you'll notice that I went from a low B flat all the way up to a high E, so that's over 3.5, 4 octaves almost. And so I could go lower. Sometimes I will add the lowest octave if I'm doing something like these slurs. Let's say I'm on F. And I'll add those pedal notes. So that time I did cheat and I used a C, so I did change fingerings for the 5th. I like to do that when I do those all the way to the basement. So the 3 ways that this is useful to me in my warm-up are: 1, I'm getting all the way around my comfortable range in the first 5 minutes of my playing, and I'm starting with breath work. The second is I'm using the harmonics to slur from note to note. I'm not doing any tonguing in these first exercises. And third, my entire warm-up, once I move on to scales or other things that I'm going to do, is going to take me only 20 minutes. Now, you'll notice that I didn't use long tones. I do Caruso notes next in my warm-up, and I don't spend a lot of time with long tones because I would rather play on long air and get all over my horn. Doing long tones in chromatically going up, it might take me 8 or 9 minutes to go 1 octave, and I just don't want to spend that much time to get all around the range of my instrument. And I didn't add tonguing yet, I will later, but again, the first 5 minutes of my warm-up are really all about getting the air and the lips in balance, centering the tone, and focusing on getting all over the horn with complete relaxation. If you found this video helpful, please leave me a comment or a like and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you're on Facebook, feel free to join my group Horn Players United, where I share some other tips there that I don't share here. And I look forward to seeing you next time.